Assalamu alaikum, my name is Taimur Sikandar and today we are going to create our second part. As you guys know, we have started our city guide application in which we are going to cover almost everything, and this is the second video in which we are going to create the splash screen. Let me quickly show you. So as you can see on the screen, this is the splash screen with some animations. After 5 seconds we are directed to our profile screen or the dashboard screen we are going to create in our next tutorials. So let me run it again. So this is splash screen we are going to create in this video. So let's quickly see how we can do that. Okay, open Android Studio, and in here we are in splash_screen, as we have created and set up our whole project in our previous video. So better check out the previous video, and we set up it professionally. Okay, the first screen we have is a splash screen, and I am inside our .xml file to start designing. So first of all, we don't need this hello world, and delete this. Okay, so inside this design, as we are using Android 3.6, which is latest, you can see we don't have any buttons over here for design and text, but instead we have at the top an icon of that design. Then we have a split view, which is a new one, and then we have a text view. So we are using the split view here. Okay, inside the split view we first need to add a background color before designing. Okay, as we have added bunch of colors, so the color we are using for the background is color primary. Is this one. Okay, so in here close this constraint layout, and we have to add the image view with match parent and match parent width and height for the constraint layout, and the source one is the image we have added for the all screen sizes. So as I told you in the previous video, the plugin we were using in our last series was a batch drivable import, and it is not workable or not supported in Android 3.6. so for that we have to add all these things manually, so please watch the previous video. Okay, the image was splash screen background, and yes, this one, the one you have seen. I also created this image. It took me a lot of time, but I can share this PSD file with you guys if you want to change this logo and everything in here. Okay, also the last thing, we want to assign an ID for the animation. It's background image. Okay, close this one. Then at the end I just want to add a text view which will be wrap content, and the text will be the slogan. Okay, close this one. And okay, one more thing, go to the project, and as I told you, we will be adding everything in strings. Press Ctrl+D to duplicate it, change the name. It's powered by. Okay, close the strings and go back to the design. In here, instead of the slogan name, we are use powered by. Okay, that's it. Simply grab this one and place it at the bottom. Open. We also have to assign the ID. ID will be powered by line. Okay, so make it center, and we will attach start to background image, background end, also start at the background end. Okay, we need to assign its background as well. Click on this. It is not attaching at the bottom. Okay, go back to the design, and in here we have to make it 16, a little bit at the top, or maybe 8. Okay, so we have created our image, our design, and that's it for the splash screen. So for the animations, we first have to design the animation. So okay, go to the resource and right click new, create a new folder, not directory, and create a anim folder, anim. Make sure it is small and it should be anim, so click OK. And inside this anim folder, right click new and create a new animation resource file. If the folder name is not anim or it is not in small letters, then you might not see this, and you will also not see this animation resource file. So click on this animation resource file, and we are going to name it side anim. Click OK. Okay, for the side animations we will first use translate, and so translate will be from y or x axis. So it is a side animation, so we are not moving the y delta, so it will be 0%. Then press Ctrl D to duplicate, and then we are moving from side, so x delta will be moving, so minus 50% maybe to 0%, or from minus 50% axis to 0 axis. And then we have to assign the duration. It is not coming right. Android colon duration, and duration will be 1500. It's up to you, you can change it. Then another animation we want to use is the alpha one, which is the fading animation. So to use it simple, we have to define two things. The first one is from alpha, and from 0.1% opacity means completely fade, to alpha, which is 1.0, means completely appeared. So we also have to write the duration, and this time it will be again 1500 maybe. Okay, where is the, oh yes, it's not a semicolon, it's equal. And now close this one. Okay, we have created our side animation, so we have to create one more. Simply copy this one and go to the anim, right click new, and create a new resource file, and this time it will be bottom anim. Click OK, and we're going to paste this. Okay, this time from the bottom it is not minus, it is plus 50%, and we are again going to use the fade animation. So we have created our two animations. Simply close this one and open our splash screen.java. Make sure we have assigned the IDs, which is background image, and this one is powered by line. Okay, inside we first have to create the variables to create hooks, because in Android Studio we have two things in one activity. The first one is this design, and then second one is this code, which is a Java code. So to get these design things, we need to create the hooks. So first of all, we have one image view, which is background image, and then we have text view, which is powered by line. So inside the Java I use capital words instead of underscores for the variable names, and the first one should be small. Okay, once the variables are created, let me create variables, and then we have to create hooks. So these hooks basically hook our designed elements to our Java, or to design elements with our Java code. So background image is equal to, we just have to write find view by ID, and then it is a resource. So R means resource dot, we have assigned ID, so write ID dot background image. That's it. Press Ctrl plus T to duplicate and change this background image to powered by line with our variable, which is powered by line. That's it. We just hooked our design with our Java code. Now we want to create two more variable of animations. So for that we have to write animation, and the first one is top anim, and then we have bottom anim. So this is not the top anim, this is side animation. So comments are good for the coding. Okay, inside the animation we first have to hook these animations as we hooked our design. So it is again very simple. Write side animation is equal to animation utils dot load animation, and this time we have to call our animation r dot anim dot, the first one is side animation, and that's it. And one more thing, we have to tell them where we want to hook it. So we first have to pass the context, and then we have to assign its ID, so where it is located. Okay, so Control plus D to duplicate the line and change side animation to bottom animation. So these are basically the files inside our animation folder, and these are the variables we have created at the top. You can change these names, but make sure these are the names you have created inside your animation folder in here. Okay, so once we have created our animations and hooks, then we want to simply assign these animations to our elements. So set animations on elements. So this is again a simple thing. Write an animation name which is background image dot set animation, and that's it. We have to pass the animation which we want to use. So for the image we want to use the side animation, Control plus D to duplicate, and for the side animation or for the line we want to use the bottom animation. Is powered by line. So we have created hooks for the elements, then we have created hooks for the animations, and then we set animations on our elements. So that's it for the animations. So the last thing, for the splash screen, we need to create first variable which will be hold the time of our animation, so which is private static int type, and we're going to name it splash timer, and it will be 5 seconds. 1000 means 1 second and 5000 means 5 seconds. So it is just a variable which holds 5 seconds or an integer value of 5000. So in here we will create a function or a handler which is a new handler dot post delete. So what this function will do, this is a handler which is calling the post delete function, which will delay something inside this function. So write new runnable, and we have a java.lang runnable. Simply click OK or click enter. Then in here these are the errors, because we have to first of all assign a semicolon at the end, and then in here we have to pass the time. Just next to this curly line write comma, and we have to pass the splash timer or the variable or the time itself. So inside here what we want to do is, after some time we want to move to our dashboard screen. So for that, go to the Java, and we first need to create the activity. So in here, as you know, if you watched my previous tutorial, we have created these folders to place all our files in related folder. So because we are going to use our user module first, so we need to create a new activity inside this user. So click on this and right click new and create an activity, empty activity, and name it user dashboard and click finish. Okay, it will be created. Open splash screen.java, and in here to call the next activity we have to write an intent. Simply create an object of it. Intent is equal to new intent. That's it. Inside this new intent we have to first pass this activity, or we have to pass this from where we want to move to next screen, from this splash screen dot this to the next screen, which is user dashboard dot class, semicolon at the end, and simply write start activity and pass this intent. So in here, instead of splash screen dot this, you can also write get application context. So that's it. As I get a lot of questions about how I am getting back to my splash screen, so when you do not write anything behind this or next to this start activity line, this current activity or the splash screen activity will not destroyed, and it will remain in the list. So when you press on the back button, it will take you back to the splash screen. So when you write this line, which is the finish line, this means this activity is finished. So destroy this activity and move to the next activity. So when you click on the back button from that next activity, it is not going to take you to this activity. Instead, it will close the application. So let's see the demo. What is the error inside it? Okay, R, press Alt, Enter, and import the class. That's it. Close this. Okay, almost I guess everything is created. So let's run the application. And also I got a lot of queries about my emulator. So the emulator I am using is my own mobile. If you don't know, you can ask me down below in the comments, and if I get a lot of comments, then I will create a video on it. Otherwise, I will definitely going to tell you how you can do this. So it is very simple and a fast way to do this. Okay, let's run the application. Okay, you can see our splash screen appears, and it also animated, and after 5 seconds it directs to our user dashboard. Currently we have nothing inside our user dashboard, so let's go back, and you can see our application is closed instead of going back to splash screen. Again, open it, and you can see our application is working fine. So that's it for the splash screen. In the next video we are going to design our dashboard. Stick together. If you learn something new, please like the video, and if you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified for the next videos. Thank you for watching. Take care. Allah Hafiz.